broke my will, but what a thrill. Getting this get wrecked, it's just quitting balls of fire. I let me love while I thought it was fine. You came along and you moved behind. I changed my mind, looking fine. Getting this great, it's just quitting balls of fire.
My goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Woo! Jesus Christ. Good God. My Lord. We're gonna need some water ASAP. Rocky, okay? Because, to tell you the truth, that one took the air out of my cells. Now I gotta hit the cardio when I hit the gym soon, but goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So yeah, guys, that's the next pay-per-view, and that's the one I'm looking forward to the most, okay? This pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, was to set up Great Balls of Fire. The greatest pay-per-view of all time is coming up. The most prestigious pay-per-view. WrestleMania, take a back seat. Royal Rumble, eat your heart out. SummerSlam, suck it. Because as far as I'm concerned, Great Balls of Fire is where it's at. And we got Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe, baby. And I am excited. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining this review, this Extreme Rules review for the 2017 show. This edition took place in Baltimore, Maryland. The opener, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. We're not really going to go over the pre-show, guys. We're just going to talk about the main card itself. Now, I watched, pretty much this whole show. There were some things that I did not catch on the show, and I was busy doing other things and stuff like that. Sometimes, listening to music is a little bit more important than wrestling. I kind of looked at it, but I wasn't focused. I wasn't engaged in some of these things. So bear with me if I mess up some of the spots or what exactly happened because I just didn't watch. But I did watch the opener between Miz and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, here's the deal. If Dean Ambrose got disqualified, he would lose the championship. And a lot of the times what had happened with that, or if you get a stipulation like this, they're going to do as little things, extreme as possible, even though it's Extreme Rules, and you would think because it's Extreme Rules they would actually have some extreme elements in here. Instead of making this a Falls Count Anywhere match, we made a match where it's illegal to use weapons, where it's illegal for Dean Ambrose to get disqualified. There was a lot of times Dean Ambrose came close. There was a lot of times where Miz tried to get himself disqualified with Maurice slapping him, but the referee was not having it. Dean Ambrose was pushed into the referee. This dumb referee, of course, would sit there and try to get Dean Ambrose. He would try to ring the bell so Dean Ambrose would lose the championship. But, obviously, he did not do that. Miz hit the skull-crushing finale. The referee hopped back in the ring 1, 2, 3. Nothing amazing here. I didn't think the match was piss poor or awful. I just did not really enjoy the match. I would not watch it back if you paid me money. Well, if you paid me money, I would watch it back. But I would not watch it back if I were, just for enjoyment purposes. I didn't think it was that great. I think Dean Ambrose is an average worker. I think he's subpar in ring. I think he has some things he brings to the table that are really well, such as his promo skills and his the way he articulates promos itself in some matches when he's with the right dance partner. But that's basically any match. I mean, if you have the right dance partner, you're going to make magic in the ring. But Dean Ambrose just did not here. The Miz did what he does best. He got some good heel heat from the crowd, and Miz is just absolutely fantastic in my eyes. I think honestly he's a better wrestler than Dean Ambrose. I think he's a better overall performer than Dean Ambrose, especially and I think if you put him up against Dean Ambrose on the microphone, they could go toe-to-toe, but I'd put my money on The Miz personally, just for my personal preference. That might get a lot of hate, I don't know, but either way, Miz is the Intercontinental Champion. That's all that matters, and I think he's on reign 8, I believe. He's close to Jericho's 9 record, which is really, really good, which is really, really insane, actually, when you think about it, how many times Miz has won the Intercontinental Championship in the last, T-minus 3 years. So, I mean, it's really... It's really intriguing to look at it from that perspective, and I'm glad Miz has the championship back, but kind of a lame opener, to tell you the truth. And then next is a match that I did not have any interest in watching. It was Sasha Banks and Rich Swann against Alicia Fox and Noam Dar, and boy, let me tell you something. Didn't care at all. Didn't give one single damn about this match. And Sasha Banks and Rich Swann got the win here. Baby faces were going over. You knew that going in. I knew that going in. And I was not surprised to see them hit the little hit a little shuffle after all was said and done, as Scott Steiner would say. Anyways, that happened, so we're gonna just gloss over that. Alexa Bliss and Bayley with a kendo stick on a pole match. I think Vince Russo called. I think he wants a stipulation back. I had no interest in watching this match, but I watched this match actually, and it wasn't that great. I don't think Alexa Bliss and Bayley really work well with each other. I think Alexa Bliss, even though she's fantastic, when it comes to getting heat from the crowd and getting a crowd engaged, I don't think that she really, clicks with Bayley. You know what I mean? I just don't think that those gals really mix well together, if that makes sense. I'm watching Raw Talk, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm looking away. I'm not watching it. I'm just kind of seeing what's going on. Right now, Sasha Banks is, flexing or whatever, but okay, then. And Rich Swann is doing his thing wearing Tron glasses. I don't know. This show is blowed, okay? Now, back to what I was saying, Alexa Bliss and Bayley. Yeah, they didn't mix well together. Alexa Bliss got the W here. What does that mean for Bayley? I really don't know. They kept saying that Nia Jax is in line for a championship shot after this, which is a little suspect because she hasn't really beaten anybody of importance to real. I mean, she beat Sasha Banks, but it was on a pre-show, guys. Come on. Nothing really. I don't have any interest in seeing Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, and I don't want to see Nia Jax with the championship yet. I would have had Alexa Bliss retain here, but I don't know. I guess, do they do another match with Bayley at Great Balls of Fire, the best pay-per-view on the planet, or best, better than anything I can really think of, better than any entertainment broadcast or show of any kind. I don't know. I really don't know. They got Sasha, they had Emma, but she got injured. They have Dana Brooks somewhat, right? They have, they have Nia Jax, they have Alicia Fox, I don't know, call Asuka, just call Asuka. When in doubt, call Asuka. But I think she's still got some time in NXT, so be a little bit before we see Asuka. Nothing really to talk about with Alexa Bliss and Bayley. I didn't really care for their match. But a match that I did care about was Sheamus and Cesaro against the Hardy Boys. For the Raw Tag Team Championships inside a steel cage. Now, normally today in the PG, well, not really the PG area, but in the era where there's no more there's not TV 14, there's no blood, they have a no color policy, except on special occasions when it's Brock Lesnar or something like that. But normally with that, when you take out the blood and you take out a lot of the stuff that really makes steel cage matches violent and fun to watch, it's like steel cage matches are pretty lame. But this match was actually pretty solid for a steel cage match for a 2017 steel cage match. These guys brought it. I think these guys had a really entertaining and fun match. Had lots of good sequences where they thought they were going to escape, and I like that element because I don't think that the steel cage matches you should have the pinfall or submission option inside the steel cage. I think that you have to escape because it adds more drama elements to the match. Either you got to climb over the top of the cage or you got to go through the door. Either way, I think that's like the way to go instead of the pinfall because it just makes it lame and it limits the match and limits the fun that you can have. So Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardy Boys had a really good physical match. Sheamus and Cesaro were stiff. They were rugged as they should be as a tag team. The Hardy Boys were the good babyface tag team, risk takers and stuff like that. And the crowd was really hot for these guys. And honestly, I pretty much loved this whole entire match. I don't think it was 5 stars, but I think it was perfect for what it was. I didn't have a problem with really anything, to tell you the truth. I think Cesaro and Sheamus winning the tag titles here was a good call. I think from a booking decision, it made the most sense. And also from a finishing standpoint, I think it was another good call because you had Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardy Boys both kind of in a foot race almost to see who can get out. So Sheamus and Cesaro are going over the top of the cage while Matt Hardy has to drag Jeff Hardy, who just did a freaking whisper in the wind off the top of the cage. He has to drag him through the door, which is pretty cool, as you would expect. And what happens is Sheamus and Cesaro hit the ground first before Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy can get out of the cage. So therefore, by definition, Sheamus and Cesaro will get the tag team championships because they hit the ground first, obviously. And you know what? This has potential to be something because Matt Hardy, in his broken and twisted mind, if they actually want to go this route, Matt Hardy can say Jeff Hardy, I blame him. I blame him for help making us lose the tag team championships. I wanted to be the Hardy Boys. I wanted to be, on this reunion tour, and I wanted to be Matt and Jeff, Team Extreme. But you robbed that from me, and you know what I mean? He can go with that, how Jeff Hardy couldn't will his body to get out of the cage, and they can start this whole Brother Nero and Broken Matt type of stuff. Right now, honestly, they could build up to a SummerSlam match really, really easily. Just on this alone, they could do a little slow burn. They could have a rematch at Great Balls of Fire and some sort of stipulation like 2 out of 3 falls, and have them come up short again there. But I mean, who knows? I think that either way, it's going to be a good story to tell. If I was booking the match, I would have had it where Jeff he's done his freaking whisper in the wind, but he's climbed out of the cage. He's crawled through the door. Sheamus he's climbed over the cage, and Cesaro and Matt are fighting, and like Sheamus is trying to will Cesaro on. Eventually what happens is the same finish. You have Cesaro go up on the side of the cage, he's climbing out, and then you see Sheamus take down Jeff Hardy, okay? And then as he's running back around and Cesaro's climbing down, Matt Hardy's going to try to get out of the cage. Boom! Cage gets freaking shut into Matt Hardy's face, you know what I mean? His head just gets caught in the cage door, and it's just like when Chyna slammed that freaking blue bar steel cage door on Mick Foley's head. It's as violent as that, and you have Matt Hardy just knocked out, and the next night he's acting a little strange. He's got a concussion, he's not in the right state of mind, and that's how I would lead the Broken Mats kind of stuff, and you would have him act weirder and weirder as time goes on. Like, this concussion is really, really affecting him, and I think that would have been a really cool way to go. But this could be interesting if they're going this route. If they're not, I'm still fine with Sheamus and Cesaro winning the tag team championships here. And I think the original plan when the Hardy Boys got here was they're going to hold on to the championships, maybe face Sheamus and Cesaro, roll through Enzo and Cass, or another tag team of maybe Gallows and Anderson again. But they're not. They're not. They are going to, and I think they're eventually going to lead up to a Revival match at SummerSlam where the Revival would take the tag straps off the Hardy Boys. But because my boy Dash Wilder broke his jaw, sad to think that, but he broke his jaw. Injuries happen at the worst of times, and he broke his jaw, so that unable to do that, they're going to have a call an audible, and Sheamus and Cesaro are the tag team champions, which I'm fine with this audible. I think Sheamus and Cesaro have a lot more life out of this team to go. I think Sheamus and Cesaro really work well together. I think right now, if Cesaro and Sheamus don't have anything to do in the mid-card or main event, you know what? Make them a tag team, and they're doing really, really well right now. They really are, and I hope they continue their success. So moving on to a less interesting match, Neville versus Austin Aries. Submission, I to tell you the truth, I really wasn't digging this match. I really just don't like these guys, their chemistry together. I think they had a good match at WrestleMania 33, I'll give them that, but I didn't really care about their matches at Payback and 205 Live. I've had little interest in that because it just doesn't work for me, to tell you the truth. It really doesn't. And now with Neville and Austin Aries, with this match being a submission match, I really wasn't digging it. So I kind of, I looked here and there from the match but I caught most of it though. I like the submissions that was applied to the outside with Austin Aries trying to hang on to it with Neville and stuff like that. But somehow, some way, Neville sneaks by again. He hits the red arrow on Austin Aries' injured back, and then he locks him in his submission. I can't remember what it's called or what its actual name is. I don't quite know, but it was really, really cool and effective. And either way, Neville is your Cruiserweight champion, and I'm really, really interested to see where they go with it because honestly, Neville has been fantastic in the Cruiserweight division. I would have preferred that the guy move on to the main card, the Intercontinental Championship picture, or maybe put him in the Universal Championship picture if Brock wasn't the champion, because I think Neville was so freaking talented. I think he's just great all around. But either way, Neville's he's doing fine in the Cruiserweight division. I think that it was fine to have Neville retain the championship here. You need a dominant Cruiserweight champion. Eventually, the babyface is going to come around to take it from him. I would probably put Tozawa in his way next. He's ran through Rich Swann, Jack Gallagher, Austin Aries now 3 times. So at this point, who do you got? You got Tozawa. I guess you got Mustafa Ali. You could put babyface Brian Kendrick in him, I guess, if you want to turn Brian Kendrick babyface. Tony Nese, maybe, but Tony Nese is pretty lame. I don't know what you do. Maybe you put Kalisto in the Cruiserweight division and put Kalisto at his feet. I don't know what you do. Grand Metalik, I don't know. But either way, Neville's still the Cruiserweight champion. That's really all that matters. Oh, it's the Rings of Saturn submission. That's it just popped in my head. And so... there you go. Rings of Saturn. He beat Austin Aries with Rings of Saturn, just in case you were wondering. Then, the main event. Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins with the winner in a winner facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. So, this match started off a little clunky and a little and average, but as time went on, when they started doing the whole alliance stuff with Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, I was a big fan of that. And I like what they did there. I think that Finn Balor played a really good role in his spot here. I thought he did a good job. I thought Roman Reigns did a good job here. People won't give him credit, but Roman Reigns did a really good job here with his role. So did Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt. I think they all played their parts really, really well in terms of a 5-man match where people have got to get their stuff in, hit their spots and their moves and stuff like that. I think they did a really, really good job. But the finishing sequences and stuff like that, when you just think about like the last 5 to 10 minutes of this match was really, really red hot. The crowd was excited for it. There was lots of good spots, especially with Samoa Joe having the coquina clutch wrapped on to Finn Balor, Roman Reigns spearing both of them through the barricade, which was really, really cool. Seth Rollins hitting the frog splash from the top rope onto the announcer's table. With Bray Wyatt on it, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, their exchange was really, really cool. Finn Balor fighting back and having that this close type of deal, which was really, really cool, actually. I really enjoyed how they kind of incorporated that and stuff. But Samoa Joe wiped that from him. Samoa Joe put on the coquina clutch and lights out. That man went to sleep like he was on some sort of beauty rest mattress. And Finn Balor that's it. So I am a big fan of this whole Finn Balor coming this close. I think they can really run with this type of deal. I think if they have Finn Balor progressively be built up and beat bigger and bigger opponents that are bigger than his size, because that's one thing the commentary just sells completely every single time. Oh, Finn Balor is so small and he can't do this. Well, people are going to start believing that he can't beat anybody if you keep telling everybody that he can't beat anyone. So that's the deal. Like, you're not helping this guy by saying that he's just small and he can't do anything. You got to talk about, he's quick, he's fast, he's crafty in the ring, he's got so much experience from his time in Japan and all over the world and stuff like that. But no, they just kind of bury the guy and they kind of make you think, well, he's nothing too special. But Finn Balor he's got talent. I'm not the biggest Finn Balor fan, but I think he still has talent. I think he has a lot to bring to the table. At the same time, I'm not going to discount that at all. I think if you build up to a Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar match at Hell in a Cell, inside the cell with Finn Balor with the demon paint inside Satan's playground, as they call it, in a Hell in a Cell match, I think there's money there. I smell nothing but money. I think what you do here is you put Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, have them do their own thing, and then you have Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor do a little program at Great Balls of Fire. Then you have Bray Wyatt go over Finn at Great Balls of Fire. You have Finn have to go dark and put on the demon gear for SummerSlam. Then you have Finn go over at SummerSlam for that's how WWE will do it. They're going to do their 50-50 booking, so might as well kind of go along with it. Samoa Joe, though, he's number one contender, so he's facing Brock Lesnar at the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Bigger than anything New Japan's done, bigger than anything Ring of Honor's done. Progress, Rev Pro, TNA, you name it, CZW, whatever. It does not matter. Chikara, Pro Wrestling Noah, Evolve, whatever independent pro wrestling promotion or WWE has ever even thought about, Great Balls of Fire is the mecca. It is the culmination. It is the penultimate pay-per-view that we've been waiting for. And I know this meme is just dragging on, and I'm kind of ruining it for everybody that wanted to have some fun with Great Balls of Fire, but I'm milking it for what it's worth, okay? So there you go. Great Balls of Fire. Goodness gracious, we got Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. This is only going to be a one program deal. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar could have a good match. They could have a really interesting match, but if Brock Lesnar hits that, I think I'm just going to phone this one in. I don't want to do anything type of deals, and I'm just going to hit suplexes and hit maybe 2 F5s, and I'll maybe let you hit the hit the the kick in the corner, or maybe the coquina clutch one time, but I'll break out of it. If he pulls one of those, then what's the point? What is the freaking point of doing this? Then it won't be good. But I think if they do it right, I think Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar could be a really, really compelling match. I'm looking forward to it for sure. When it does come, because I just want to see the match itself. I think it intrigues me. I think what you do is I think you build up Samoa Joe, have him choke out Paul Heyman. You know what I mean? But what's a little weird here is that Samoa Joe is a heel, and Brock Lesnar was a heel because he beat Goldberg, who was a babyface. But I guess in WWE now, where it really doesn't matter, and Brock's going to get cheered no matter what, I think that this doesn't really help anybody, and unless they're turning him babyface, because he was supposed to face Braun Strowman at SummerSlam, and if Braun Strowman is cleared to compete at SummerSlam, then, I mean, is Brock practically a babyface? Because if that's the case, then he's facing Finn, or maybe Seth at Hell in a Cell, or maybe at Survivor Series he faces them there, and then he faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So it's kind of like, which one is he? I mean, is Brock just a special attraction that just faces whoever? Is that what they're going for? Because they could be, and it is what it is at that point. So either way, guys, I'm interested in the main event of Great Balls of Fire. I actually am. I think that they have something here that they want to make it special. They have until about mid-July, I believe, to get something rolling for this pay-per-view. Brock's got to be here for at least 2 to 3 weeks of the build. So if within this month or so, they need to do something, and I think they can. But that remains to be seen. I'm looking forward. Actually, I'm probably not going to watch Raw tomorrow night. Let's be real. I can't do 3 hours. But I'll look forward to the results and the highlights on YouTube. So there you go. And yeah. Either way, that's it. That's going to be it for me, guys. Extreme Rules 2017 review is in the bag, and I am out of here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment what you thought about this review, what you thought about Extreme Rules. Let's talk about it. I would love to converse about this. And by the way, I said something about an announcement. I had an announcement, and honestly, things changed in a heartbeat about what I was going to say, and I just figured, you know what, I'm not going to make the video at all because I'm so freaking lazy with this channel. And I just do it just to do the reviews at this point, and I want to do some more stuff, which I am going to be doing some more stuff, but it's a matter of, will I have the time? Do I want to do it? Because I just do this for fun. I don't do this as like a job. I don't do this because I need to. I do this because I want to, and I want to get this video out there, because this is a video I would watch. Maybe not 23 minutes long, but I'd watch it. And if you did watch this whole thing, you're a freaking champ, and I love you very much. Either way, thank you very much for watching this video. Yeah, that's basically just rehashing what I just said. Leave a like, please do. Would love to get some support from you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already subscribed, love you very much, and all as well. And as well. See you guys. Have a blessed day, and take it easy. To Swann.